Hey, what's going on? It is your friend Buck at the No Tape Deck podcast. All right, microphone is on. We are back for episode 12 today. Super pumped. And whether it's your first time here or you are coming back to hear some more amazing music that maybe you haven't heard of yet, welcome. And today I am joined by two ladies out of the Phoenix, Arizona area from an awesome band called Miles to Nowhere. I'm joined today by Kristen and Katie. How's it going?
Hello. What's up?
This has to be like the funnest sort of coordinating a podcast so far. It's like rock and roll and punk rock in every sense of the word. So thanks for all the agility in lining this up.
Yeah, no, we're stoked we could make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So how long have y'all been a thing?
Pretty long time. Like the first music that like Miles Snower released was in 09. Mm-hmm. So for a while, this has kind of just always been like Miles Snower has kind of always been like my project, you know. Even if I've done other things, I've always come back to doing this. And then this lineup with Rich and Katie has been like maybe the last like 10 years or so we've been playing together.
Awesome. And it's what I think is super rad about it. It's like the traditional 3-piece. So we are joined today, just so everybody, once you go over and check them out and give them a listen, which I know you will, we're joined by about 66% of the group today. So, and I went to public school, so I'm going to just, give everybody the answer to the math test, and that's 2/3 of the, and what I love with like that traditional, when you came across my algorithm and I was like, okay, cool. Instantly love that like Fender P bass. Like that's exactly what a bass should sound like in music, like y'all are making. And then I jumped over, saw you were a 3-piece, and it's like, for anybody that's never played music before, you don't have a fourth or fifth person. If somebody breaks a string or messes up, it's like you've got bass, guitar, and drums and vocals. And if one thing falls out, you lose a third of it very quickly. And you can't cover that up. It's super hard to cover up. So I love 3-piece, that MXPX, sort of style, of a lineup. And sometimes there's a fourth person hiding in the shadows somewhere, Green Day, whatever. But love the formation. It's awesome.
Thanks.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Appreciate that. The 3-piece, I've always been like a big fan of the 3-piece myself. Like it's just, I just love being able to like really hear everything, because you don't have anyone covering for you, but then you also have like that you know that there's not like one guitar overpowering another, or like just with less stuff, it's like you're probably gonna hear everything at every show if you're like watching a 3-piece,
Yeah, it's less people to be late for a show or rehearsal too.
Well, sure. Yeah, I was gonna say like an accountability thing for sure. I mean, just to chime in, for my station, I also have incorporated like this little mini Korg keyboard where we have some stuff that we have programmed that we add during our set.
Nice.
So, and on our album and our albums, I also have recorded some second guitar parts, like little solos here and there. So everything that we put out, like we do ourselves and we record ourselves as well.
Nice. Very DIY, grassroots. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I love that feel. And only people that are like from the Portland area, I have to like throw this out there, but and the name of this band is awesome, but it reminded me of this band from the Portland area called Not Very Good, which obviously is a joke, right? Because they were very good. I mean, but it was like, it's that 3-piece. Like I could imagine walking into a club, and y'all are from Tempe, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. If you didn't know yet, you could just walk in and instantly just be hooked on it, because the like the sonic, like the notes, like the way the guitar sounds, and the bass, and then the drums, it's like right in line with exactly the way the way you would want to hear this 3-piece, cosmic, right? Cosmic punk, I believe is what your website says. Love that.
Galaxy Punk.
Galaxy Punk, yeah.
Galaxy punk. I love it. But yeah, it's like the tonality on everything. And then the next layer is like throwing in my headphones, and it's like whoever did the mixing and recording, and I know that was y'all and whoever you worked with, like kudos, like the tone of it and the way it comes across is just, it's absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, we spend a lot of time like getting those sounds and stuff, like we don't just like rip right into it when we're recording. Like we spend like a few hours like getting just the tone that we're going to use for like each part. So I think like our recordings like are a big part of like who we are, which is how it should be, because like a lot of times bands record and then by the time it's, you use totally different stuff in the studio, and by the time it's like mixed and edited and mastered and put out and everything, like it's just like it's so different from what they're doing live. And like I think we're pretty happy with, we've worked really hard to get those two things to meet each other. Like we're always kind of like thinking about that, and like the sounds we're using, and like even just the parts that we're playing, like we're making sure that we're playing stuff that isn't stomping on like another instrument, or everything's always like helping each other be heard like musically.
Hell yeah, it really really comes across. And what's your drummer's name?
Rich.
I was looking, I was checking out your new video for Like a Bomb, and I noticed about a day ago you posted the behind the scenes footage. That was awesome. I watched it right before we got on the phone. Katie, how's your hand doing? It looks like in that when you swing the bat at that object, you hit a chair in that video.
Yeah, I definitely felt that one.
Was that like a rage room or something?
I'm glad. Well, so we talked about that scene, right? Mm-hmm. And well, first of all, it wasn't in the real video because decided not to put it in the real video.
Ouch.
Well, I think it's in there kind of, but we like
my second hit.
Yeah,
I think which is fine. So I had to, of course, like speak up for the moment that I missed. But we basically said, hey, it was a double tap, I hit that chair, I wounded it, and then just freaking smashed it. So.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was looking in that video for Like a Bomb, which is your latest single, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
That came up about a month ago.
Yeah. Excellent song. There's going to be links down in the description for everybody listening, of course. But even speaking to the, the instrumentation, noticing your drummer, it looks like he's playing a brass snare in that video.
Yeah, he does have a brass snare. Yep. Yeah. Are you a drummer?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, nice.
But even noticing that, it's like, you don't see a brass snare a whole lot actually, and they sound phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. It's nice and loud, and like it's got a lot of body to it. Like we like a big kind of like fat sounding snare,
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, Like a Bomb is the latest, and as I was kind of going through your Apple Music, top songs. There's a really cool acoustic song as well called Race Cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of gave me I don't know if anybody's ever said this, but it gave me almost like Boxcar Racer sort of
nice.
feel. And I'm just curious, like was that kind of an influence there, or just not at all, and it kind of just turned out the way it did? Because that's what it makes me feel a little bit when I listen to it.
That one for sure just kind of turned out the way it did. Like I wrote it about a drawing of a race car that I saw on the side of the freeway, and like it came out all acoustic. So I might as well bring this up now because like since you brought up this song, it's the perfect song to bring bring up because like a Bomb is the first single on an album that we're going to be putting out. And we just recorded an electric version of Race Cars for this album.
Oh, congrats. Nice.
Yeah. So it's really cool because we have this like super acoustic version, and then the electric one is just like, it's just like a full on kind of fast punk song.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. So you're gonna have the acoustic version on the previous album, and then your new album. Are you currently in the studio working on it now, or is there a release date, or is it like being mixed and mastered, or where are you at in that process right now?
So we're at the mix stage on everything. Like there's, like we get to the mix stage, but then there's like we're still open to like we may spend another day or two once we hear everything, like touching up stuff or like maybe adding a few things or taking away some stuff. But yeah, so we're gonna be letting out a lot of like singles as they're ready, and then once we get down to the last couple, then we'll let it all out as an album. And like we're trying to find like creative ways to like release the album art so that it's not just lost digitally.
Yeah. It's got to be kind of with, like, I'll just say it, in 2025 with attention spans. It's probably a huge, which great music, I think, which I think your guys is phenomenal. Sorry, like tongue tied there for a second, but you know what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
it seems to cut through that sort of short form, and I'm sure that's got to be a huge discussion, amongst folks like yourself when you're, in the studio and you're writing and you're crafting and you're, picking what to leave in and what to leave out, and hoping that it, connects, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a conversation me and Katie were just having before we got on the phone with you, really, like just talking about how like, because we have like this, we're in this really awesome spot right now where a lot of the album is ready.
Yeah.
But we like think that we just really feel really good about this one. Like we have something special, and like I don't want to like rush through letting the songs out, because I know that the one album is going to have the same amount of traction as one song because of how people's consume things now. But it's like, just like give each song its opportunity. So right now, like we ended up doing all this like the behind the scenes stuff for Like a Bomb. So we held back we're going to put the next single out already, like, within 8 weeks of this release. But now it's like, well, we kind of want the video to circulate a little more. And we have basically 3 more parts for that behind the scenes thing.
Okay.
So it'll be like a 4-part thing. And so that's kind of going to come out once a week for the next month or so. And I don't know, we just feel like these are really special songs, and like we shouldn't just be like throwing stuff out fast just to see what sticks. Like we should just give as much as we can from each song to like the people listening,
Yeah, let it get its let it breathe, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. That's something I've run into with this being episode 12, right? Like this one is going to come out, y'all's episode, this Saturday, the 9th, just so you know.
Okay.
And now that we fully know we're in the same time zone, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It'll probably be around noon. But in the beginning, they were kind of like coming weekly, and I just I had a thought hit me one day, and I was like, I want to honor the artist and their time and their fan base and guiding new people there. So now I'm trying to give it a couple weeks, right? And something that comes to mind, like when I watched your behind the scenes, video today and the genre that you're in, I think whatever y'all choose, just my 2 cents, not that it matters, but it's an authentic genre. And I think if whatever, obviously, like when you come from that, you can't lose. When you come from that corner of, like it was cool watching that. It's like, oh, the guy in the parking lot with the mohawk, and it's probably like late at night because it's hotter than hell down there in Phoenix, and it's probably not shooting during the day anyways. And if you are, you're inside a building with AC. hopefully. But it was cool to see that is what I'm saying. It's like, you know, it's one thing to watch a video when it's polished, but it's a whole nother side of the coin, if you will, to see how it's made. So it was cool to watch is what I'm saying. I'm being long-winded about it, but it was awesome to watch.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And so shout out to Randy. Randy's the guy with the mohawk, and he helped us film and he helps us with our content. So definitely shout out Randy.
Nice. And shout out Randy, and you can't miss the mohawk. And think Travis Barker, only like it was like platinum blonde, right? It was like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hell yeah. It was rad. With the boom stands and the speakers and everything.
Yeah, he also had a friend of his from film school.
Yeah.
I think his name was David, who was out helping on that one. And like, you know, Randy had some gear, and so did his buddy. And so like we kind of put this thing together quick too, because I travel a bunch for work. Like I'm actually a sound engineer. I like mix tours and stuff.
Nice.
So I was about to leave for 2 or 3 weeks, and Randy was like, "Hey, what do you think about trying to shoot something for Like a Bomb before you leave?" Because, you know, Randy's really like, he's really part of the team. Like, he was going to try to keep videos going, you know, while I was gone and stuff. And like Katie was meeting up with them, and Rich was meeting up with them. But like, yeah, so we're like, okay, but what are we going to do? And it just kind of like evolved and evolved and evolved until, you know, we came up with Like a Bomb. But we shot it fast. It was like we did all that in one day. And then I looked at it and I was like, we need one more thing, like just the outside footage and then the inside breaking stuff. It's like not enough. Like there's not enough story there. Like we need one more day. So then we squeezed in one more day. Like I think it was 2 nights before I left, and then we had the video done. It was crazy.
Is it like a collaborative effort with everybody in the group plus Randy, or is it like does somebody sort of have a vision and it moves in a direction, or what does that process look like?
So I would say it kind of goes both ways. He has been helping us pretty much all of this year so far. And he's got great ideas where, you know, we can start there, and then Kristen and I can add, or Rich, like we'll all kind of just throw out stuff and then we make it happen, you know? And then we're able to just essentially be ourselves.
Yeah, like the big convo that I had with Randy, and like we kind of talk about this all the time, is like Randy's very passionate about, you know, his work and music, and you know, he's cool to hang out with. And so we decided, like, you know what, like let's let this guy tell our story, because I just get so sick of just like, you know, all these, you know, content and recaps and create this and create that. And it was like, okay, like we don't need to be like stressing to make all this stuff to show people some little fake part of our world. Like if we just let Randy run the camera all the time, we're just basically just like let him tell the story, and then we'll just kind of like look over it a little bit and make sure that, you know, fact check the story a little bit, make sure it's like make sure it's the right parts of the story that we're showing. But like that's kind of how we work with him. And then if one of us has some crazy idea for a video, then he helps us execute it, and just kind of like really collaborative with him. It's cool.
Nice. And looking at your YouTube channel, one thing I just got to say that I totally dig is there's a lot of live footage on there, which is awesome because, you know, it's one thing to record something and, you know, produce it. And it's also another thing to just throw out the really vulnerable stuff. And that's awesome. And then there's another video that particularly caught my attention in the way that it was sort of shot with the lens and everything, was the I Love You video. It's awesome.
Oh, Okay. So that's pre-Randy. That
Yeah.
was a local, Ray Squared is her name. She shot that for us, and then I did all the editing for that. Um, yeah, so she shot it, and then I edited. We know, we know just enough about everything to kind of like, we could do almost anything ourselves, but then like, we like bringing in, super professionals to help us put some of the pieces together.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. In terms of influences, what are some main influences for your project?
Yeah, so I'll chime in. So every musician you ask has a different answer, of course. And I like to break it down personally to like what I'm currently listening to versus like what I grew up with, and that kind of shaped me.
Yeah.
So, I grew up listening to classic rock thanks to my parents, and I taught music at the School of Rock for 9 years, and so I learned a lot of music teaching, which was awesome. I would say, anything from like Zeppelin, Steely Dan to currently, Turnstile and Pub. And I listen to just like a lot of music that isn't our style as well.
Yeah.
And I also like to listen to bands that, are kind of in the same, tier as far as where they're at as a band.
Yeah, for sure.
There's different tiers of punk bands, if you will. And I know Kristen and I like to kind of just discover other bands that are kind of at a similar tier as us and just check out what they're doing too, which is cool. So you can really be inspired by anything, right?
Love it. Also that classic rock stuff too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome. So
yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
Yeah, and like I guess I've always listened to just kind of everything too. Like I've been listening, sometimes I dig into like super super old, old like funk records or Motown records or jazz records or like just like old stuff where like the stuff is recorded in mono and like half the songs on one side and half is on the other. But like a lot of that, what's cool is like a lot of that stuff is like, is all like recorded together. So they were, really playing that stuff. And there's just so much like energy and just,
right.
I kind of like that. I used to never like that before. Like I always thought like it didn't sound as good because the sound quality was, from back then. But now I just love kind of putting AirPods in and walking around and just like hearing like real old stuff like that, where you just hear you just feel everything and you feel every note that's in there. Stuff that's like can be edited out a lot these days,
Yeah, those little imperfections that kind of make it uniquely perfect, if you will, right? It's
definitely.
Yeah, no, I hear that. So what's on the horizon for y'all? Any shows coming up down in Arizona or?
Yeah, our next show is September 12th with the Dickies.
All right.
So a little punk rock show at this place called the 44 in Glendale. So we got that coming up. In between now and then, we're really just kind of working on the album and working on more videos. And we have we actually do have this little like kind of like live recording thing coming up that we'll be putting out. And then there's always the possibility, because we like weekday shows a lot at home, because it's just like, I don't know, it's just, we like to party on a weeknight sometimes. So
there you go.
Like at some point between either before that show or after that show, like sometimes we just pop up on a weeknight and we're like, next Wednesday, be here. And everybody comes and parties and it's awesome.
Love it. Love it. And the merch y'all have too is is rad. Notice you have the race car shirt, the morning shirt. That one I think is going to be on my list. Some
Sweet.
just rad merch and some really cool stickers too. Because who doesn't like a good sticker?
Yeah, we just got new Like a Bomb stickers. They're not out yet, but they're sitting here on the table next to us. We just got them yesterday, actually.
Nice.
So those are pretty cool. Yeah, all of our merch there. So you must be on our website.
I got it up in front of me right now, milestonowehere.com.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'll actually we'll probably be updating some more merch on there soon. But those are our basic designs that we have out right now. Yeah, that morning shirt came from, we wrote a theme song for the big morning show here in Phoenix. So we wrote their theme song for this year, and that is the artwork for it.
Oh no way! What's the big morning show there in Phoenix?
It's called Holmberg's Morning Sickness. It's on KUPD FM.
Nice work on writing that song too, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
you'll have
you.
to check it out. It's on Spotify and iTunes and all that. And like actually on the horizon, we shot a video for that. It's just not edited yet because we kind of pushed Like a Bomb in front of it.
Gotcha.
And so hopefully we're hoping that our next video that comes out is probably that, and it'll probably be out in like, about a month, early September.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate you ladies taking the time out of your busy schedules to swing by the No Tape Deck pod and roll the dice with me too. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for
absolutely.
having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So we put out the website, milestonowehere.com, which is, of course, going to be down in the description. There's going to be a link below. Is there any other specific avenues of the internet y'all would like to guide folks to?
No, just like, we're always trying to get those YouTube subs up. So
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
especially with the new video out and new videos to come. So that would be awesome. Subscribe.
yeah, other than that, just like wherever you listen to music, you should be able to find us. So just follow us on your favorite platform,
Heck yeah, I've had no problem finding you on all the streaming services. And yeah, again, thank you so much for swinging by. Keep up the rad work. And tell Rich I said hello as well. And we'll catch an episode down the road. He can join. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks. We had a great time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
For sure. Thank you so much. And everybody head on over to milestonowehere.com. Go to their YouTube. Definitely just dartboard it. Just pick a video, and I promise you'll love it. This is your friend Buck at the No Tape Deck podcast today, joined with Katie and Kristen from Miles to Nowhere out of the Phoenix, Arizona area. It is a crazy world out there, folks. Let's be kind to each other. So thanks again for swinging by, and tell a friend about them too. Why not?